Hello, 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 everyone. Mike Arnold's here, co-founder, Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. How is everyone doing today? Just a quick reminder, we already had some earnings from Bank of America and Schwab out this morning. I know Schwab could be getting a big gap down. Just wanted to remind everybody of that also. We have some housing numbers coming out at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And then again, Fed speak. More Fed speak. Another reminder, we are in negative gamma territory still, so keep that in mind. Moves can get exaggerated. So how is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing? Good morning, Davey. No, not yet. We are looking. Good morning, Wavy. Crude will take peeking on crude. Good morning, Sashi. We'll take some look at techs. I talked about that yesterday. When's the great flush coming? Well, if I was that good, then I probably wouldn't be talking to you on a live stream. If I knew exactly when moves were going to happen, trading gets very, very interesting, doesn't it then? Jacob, good morning. Silver pushing. Yeah, silver and gold are pushing this morning. Thank you for that feedback, Lauren. Glad to have you here. Good morning, George. Bitcoin looking up, positive sign for the market. Bitcoin, there's been a ton of stable coin printing overnight. That's the whole fraud of the crypto market. So that's why we're getting pushing, trying to avoid this next breakdown. Good morning, Ken. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. By the way, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term viewers, please hang back, as some of you have been, and leave some comments and like the videos. Let's see now. Good morning, Sterling. Glad to have you as well. Well, the whole crew's here, and welcome to everybody on other platforms like Share Vision, watching on Facebook, or watching it on Twitter. So, breaking down a little overnight. Remember, slower trading because it's still Eastern Monday. They not really celebrated in the USA, but in Europe, it's a major holiday over there. And where I got asked in a question, where did I live in Switzerland? I lived in Lausanne, Switzerland. Right, it's on Lake Geneva. I didn't live right on Lake Geneva. I lived on Rue de Centrale. With my horrible accent. We'll up a little off that breakdown initial, but this key area in the S&P about 43.85, 43.84 is now resistance. If you do pop in there, there's another little area of resistance right around 43.94. Once it's to about 43.99, here's where it gets a little challenging. You see these stopping points. Now, once it gets above about 4,400, then you have the real clear path move, 44.27, and then 44.52. If we break back down below the lows, again, this is just right now we're in this little short-term flag pattern, which is what I'm going to be watching off the open to see if we really get a close. We really have to get the key close above about 43.84 before I'm at all looking at the upside. If we do roll down right below about 43.57, then I'm going back to 43.43. So that's really all I'm keying off of with the S&P on the open with this push down last night. Those targets are not valid. I go with the reverse harmonics at this point, but they're a long way off. So that's really what I'm watching. NASDAQ, again, breakdown, key support becoming resistance, trying to rally back here. Also, we have pretty much just a very steep move right here, very steep. So gonna keep watching that to see if it breaks above. You get above 13,865, then you just run smack dab into some pretty key resistance about 13,900, 13,908, and then above there 13,951. So even on breaks the upside, there's some key resistance area. If it starts rolling over, down below about 13,733, 13,707, and then 13,675. Major support is coming in at 13,530. Now keep in mind we were trading below the 62.5. That's where I'm watching. Again, I talked about that on the video yesterday, because if we close below right about 13,811 on a closing basis, then it favors on a daily closing basis. Let me reiterate that before somebody comes back with we close below it on a 5-minute. No, it's got to be a daily basis. Then we focus on the breakdown levels to the lows. What else do we have? So, I mean, the key thing is on any rally, we have a lot of stopping points in both the S&P and NASDAQ. So it could be in for a lighter, choppier day unless we get some momentum bars, which we have not seen yet. Dow, again, holding up the best of everything right now. See, you have the S&P down 22 basis points, NASDAQ down 27, and the Dow only down 10. Already tested this key resistance about 34,358. Above there, then I'm going back to about 34,500, then 34,610. To the downside, if we break below this little, I'm not even going to put a line here, but break below about 34,255, then I'm watching for 34,088 to about 34,100 for key resistance. If that breaks, then the major level is 33,850. Russell, not much going on. Don't have a lot of great price action to look at in the Russell. So really you have a little clear path move if it does continue to rally about 2006. But that's about it. And then major support coming in right now about 1987. If we break below that, I'm going to 1979. DAX trying to move up, but my next resistance there is about 14,285 and support coming in at 14,072. So there's a fair amount of overhead resistance if that does rally. Crude trying to push up, trying to push higher. Remember, against this key stopping point about 108. Above there, 109.50, and then majors 111, 111.25. On a pullback, I'm just looking, we do have this. I'm still watching this as a potential topping pattern. We came from the flag, the push up. If we did trigger that, I watch for a return to 104. It's a little sloppy because it's double push up on the left-hand side, but it is reversing that move. I would really focus on about 104.15 as any pullback level, but inflation, assets, and commodities running up. Here's your gold. Your gold higher overnight, hitting that 2,460, stalling out there on so far. You can see it here on the shorter term basis after poking through. Little toppy right here. If it does push higher, the next key area is 2018. Now key support coming back 1992 to about 1986. So any pullback, that's where I'm not watching for my key support to kick in. Silver breaking through this pretty significant resistance ledge. So now about 26.27 to about 26.27, 26.20 right in here is now key support on any pullback, looking for that to hold. Getting a little toppy right here. I'm going to be watching this 4-hour rotation zone, especially, and you can couple that with the 1 hour. I'm really focused on the 4-hour and a potential pullback in this area to see if it rotates back up and if that holds. Notes, we have a really nice double bottom, potential double bottom, I should say now. If this does break down from today's low, 118.28 is the next level, but right in here, it's sort of there's some clear path, but it's sort of choppy. Next target, minor target, the upside is 120.09. Then above there, see where I talked this about yesterday, we get below the 62.5, favored a low retracement to this area, which is exactly where we went. Now you're running back up. If you want an early warning sign from the notes for any traders in that, I'm going to be watching about 120.18. Close above there. Then I'll be watching for it to retest this recent high area and then potentially break out with that double. Where would that double take us? It's still against the daily rotation zone, so lower probability, but 122.08, 122.24 would be my major targets. Dollar index, still fair amount of resistance up here. If it can push through 177, then I'm watching 101.08 to about 101.15. VIX, gap up slightly, trying to reverse there. We'll have to see how that goes with the opening price action. Again, this is slightly delayed. I can't get a real-time feed on this platform, but if we start pushing up above about 25, I start really paying attention to it. So that's, again, I'm watching that 25 number. If it stabilizes, then I'll be watching for the gap fill in the VIX. What else? Somebody's mentioned Bitcoin. Bitcoin trying to put in a short-term bottom, rallying back, but again, I'm watching for a potential now another rollover play unless it can really get above about 41,170. Let's see what else we sit with. SPY, sure, I'll go over to SPY. You're really going down there, 30. So let's see, SPY again. Pre-market, of course, is going to be gap down because the futures traded. I'd be watching if the futures rally just for the gap fill play, but key resistance now is 438. 438, and the next support level is 433. Should it head lower? And let's check that out with the harmonics. Yep, right there. And that's your key level on the SPY from the most recent run-up. Your key level from the longer-term run-up that if you get the close, well, look at that. Look at this, though. Here's the most recent run-up. Here's your harmonic projection. There's the 62.5, which is key for the most recent run-up. From the bottom setback in February, when you go for this whole thing, because if we get a close below about 429.95 area, 429.93, then we watch for the retest of this low area. But look, that's the other harmonic level. So there you go. Things lining up really nicely. So that's your key stuff for the SPY. I'd be watching if futures do rally at all for a quick little potential gap fill in there. Here's your Qs. Qs also below key resistance right now, retesting the lows from April, but they're going to gap down below that this morning. So that's now resistance. So keep that in mind if we do roll over and you want your next targets for the Qs. 333.81, and then major will be 329.59. From the overall run-up level, because it made a lower low on the 14th of March. Your 62.5 is right here, so you're going to be watching that level on a daily closing basis, which comes in right about 338. So that's all your levels with everything. Little quieter open. Let's take a look at Bank of America, which did earnings today. Here's your earnings from this morning. Slight beat on the upside. Reported versus estimate and revenue. Slight surprise the upside, but not really doing much. Just trading slightly lower pre-market. And I also have this longer term pattern on BAC. You see came down that first double target, rolling back up, and now coming back down. Next target to me is 36.95 and then 35.07. Longer term, I am watching for lower prices on bank. Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, I know, did miss and trading pre-market lower. They missed on EPS and they missed on revenue. Still in this key support area, but again, now this 200 overhead is now resistance coming in at 80. So it could not hold. You see the last sell-off where you had the double running down to that 200. Little move up to retest this key resistance area, rolling over and now gap down. So this 80 level is key resistance with that. So keep that in mind. If it's trying for a gap fill play, that's going to be a pretty tough area to get through before the gap fill play. So that's really what I'm watching on the open, but longer term on a rollover play, 75.90. And if it gets below there, that's really not good. You can see on the weekly, then you come down to test the bottom of this prior support channel. So there's nothing really to do long-term bullish for me on Charles Schwab. Let's peek in at Tesla real quick, since I know so many people love to trade that. It's either a breakout or breakdown, just sitting slightly higher than the close by about $3, which is nothing. But the breakout play is above 1022, and the breakdown plays below about 970. Other than that, it's just in this little range. And you can see 4 hour, this was support, resistance, rolling over 4 hour rotation zone. So there's really nothing for the bullish aspect for me to do until it breaks above there, and nothing to do on the bearish aspect unless it breaks down below this key support, again, 970 area. Then you're targeting 950.74 and 928.30. With that, I'm going to wrap it up this morning and finish my morning market prep. I will be back this afternoon at 3:30 Central Time. Might be a little quicker session just because I am managing all 5 dogs by myself. Again, wife is in Florida looking at property. So we will see what's going on. Hope everyone has a great trading day. I mean, again, it might be a little choppier, a thinner market, so be prepared for that. That's what I'm going to be watching unless we get some major momentum, and we are still negative gamma, so keep that in mind also. You are welcome, Wavy. I will be around this afternoon to chat with everybody and wrap up today's market trading. Bye for now. I will give them treats. Thank you.